Hi there, I'm Brad Rudin, Agronomy Tech Services Manager with Agtegra Cooperative. One of the considerations that we have when looking at a prevent plant field like the one we have behind us is weed management going into the next cropping season. Assuming that we'll be able to get this field planted this next spring, one of the big considerations is what can we do now to set up our weed management? One of the keys is to be sure that we have good weed management like we had during the season here going into the fall. And that may include a burn down herbicide using things like Roundup or one of our phenoxy herbicides. And we really recommend putting a residual herbicide like Valor herbicide down with that burn down this fall. That will set us up next spring for some excellent weed management. And the neat thing about Valor is that it does provide the opportunity to rotate either to corn, to soybeans, or even to wheat this next spring. And even if this field would be too wet next spring and would be required to be prevent planted again, we would have a head start on weed management to be able to hold down that weed population next season. I think that's a very solid consideration for growers as they're looking at what to do with acres like this field behind us. The second management consideration to consider is looking at what things are going to happen with our soil fertility. Assuming we can get a crop into this field, without a crop growing on it this year, especially not a grass crop this year, our soil mycorrhizae levels probably have gone down. Now, mycorrhizae are fungi in the soil that help us with phosphorus management. So when we're looking at fields like this, we may have to consider a threefold management plan for phosphorus. One, we may have to consider a little higher phosphorus fertilizer rate than we have in the past because we're not going to have access to that nutrient right away. Second of all, I believe a starter fertilizer is going to be absolutely critical on these acres, regardless of the crop we can get planted on here. And third, we might want to consider that this may be a field where you might want to consider adding some additional mycorrhizae. There are some products out there that can be applied with the starter fertilizer that can increase that mycorrhizae population in the fields. So there you have it, a couple things. Management of not only the weed population this fall to set us up for a potential crop in 2020, and also then taking a look at fertilizer management in a prevent plant acre. As we go on into this fall season, also remember that in the next few weeks we're going to have a significant amount of farm traffic out on the roads, so be safe out there as we're going on through our fall season.